Yo, Ollie Matthews here from Body Catchers Performance Nutrition. Now today is a little bit of a different one. I'm not going to go down the the high level performance athlete. I want to make sure we cover the basics. And working with some guys in our corporate boxing, it's clear that some of the basics not everyone knows because of some of the dumb things that the media has been putting out. So it's not the fault of anyone in particular. It's just we see so much shit all the time. So what is the truth? So what actually came to mind yesterday is that carbs are still, even in this day and age, seen as the devil. You can't have carbs if you want to lose fat. Now, carbs are the things that are going to give you energy sufficiently and efficiently. So we have these carbs in there, starchy carbs, your potato, your white rice, brown rice, your breads and everything like this, quinoa, couscous, and there's just loads of stuff. We have these in here and they give us energy. Basically, they'll put the sugar into your cells. I'm trying to explain this in a very good way. So they will put the energy, the glycogen stores in your cells, in your muscles, and in doing that, this is where the weight gain, if you look at the previous video I've done last week, the weight gain can occur if you have not had very many carbs over a while, because every 1 gram of carb that goes into the muscles, around like 3, 4, even 5 grams of water could go in there as well. So if you think you'd put in 4 times the amount of weight in water every time you put a gram of carb in, potentially those scales are going to go up a little bit. However, in doing so, you are going to have a lot more energy. You are going to be able to perform for longer. You are going to be stronger. You are going to be able to recover. You are going to burn more fat because your body is working a lot more efficiently. So we need the carbs in there. Now, when we look at certain things which I don't like labeling foods as bad, but bad carbs, so highly processed carbs and things like this, then you're going to have a look at things like your biscuits and things with loads of trans fats and loads of things. When you look at the ingredients, there's more than like 2 or 3 different ingredients in there. So that's where the things like processed sugars can be potentially bad if you overindulge. Another thing came up with regards to diet sodas, diet drinks, aspartame and all that shit. Now, the aspartame brigade are going to go nuts when I say it's not going to kill you unless you have copious amounts. Now, what I suggest to clients is that if you crave a little bit of sugar, if you crave a little bit of sweetener, and it's a case of destroying your whole hard work on the diet or having a Diet Coke, have a bloody Diet Coke. As long as you stay hydrated, it's not really going to do that much damage having like a little 500ml bottle every few days or something like that, as long as you stay hydrated. Okay? What else was there? What foods are going to help turn fat into muscle? Now, scientifically, if we look at how the body works, it's not possible. You cannot turn fat into muscle. They are 2 different things. So you'll have your fat cells. Now, some people will say you can't kill your fat cells. Some people will say they have a lifespan of around 10 years. Once they are literally like, you put fat in them, they'll expand. Now, you burn that fat, they're going to go really low, really small, but they'll still potentially be there. Now, if that is true, that actually is one of the reasons why fat people who lose weight can put fat back on again. There must be a better technical term than fat people, but having been there in the past, I know you can easily put fat back on. And so if you keep that fat off for a long enough time, potentially those fat cells will maybe die off. But muscle is made up of protein, it's made up of amino acids, it's a completely different form of structure. It's tissue. You need to burn the fat, you need to build the muscle. That will depend on your diet. So burning the fat, being in a bit of a calorie deficit, getting your protein in there, getting your carbs in there, getting your fats in there. So a good, balanced, structured diet. If you really want to look at carbs, have them around your training. And do not, when the clock strikes 6 o'clock, think, fuck, I'm going to put on fat if I have carbs. That is not going to happen. That is bollocks. Okay? So you can have carbs, your body needs them to recover. So if you train at 8, 9 o'clock at night and you get home, okay, you may not want a full meal, but you get home and you're like, yes, I need to make sure that I have some carbs to recover. Chuck some oats, chuck some protein powder in there, maybe some yogurt or something, some nuts, and you'll get some carbs in there. Your body is not going to turn it to fat. Your body is going to be like, oh, wow, thank you. I need to recover. I'm going to be great for tomorrow. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to sleep well. And I'm going to be energized in the morning. Now, foods that help burn fat. Okay, there is a certain thing called the thermic effect of food, which every food will give off a certain heat. But, excuse me, and where calories will be burnt in different amounts. But in particular, like when people say, oh, celery is going to burn more calories digesting than it is by eating it. Who the hell wants to just eat celery all day? Like, there may be some weird people that really crave celery, but I've not met any of them. And I've met some weirdos. So, yes, potentially you can get foods which are going to burn fat. But overall, if your diet is structured around your goals, with good amounts of carbs, with good amounts of protein, with good amounts of fat, specific to your needs, and you have good food throughout the day, real food, you're going to burn fat if you are in a bit of a calorie deficit. Add that to the activity, whether that is boxing, whether that is endurance, whether it is weight training, whether it is going to different classes, spinning, aerobics, or anything like that, you are going to be burning fat. Stimulate that muscle. Whilst in a calorie deficit, you want to do as much as you can to keep that muscle on there. So lifting heavy still. Don't do none of that, oh, I want to burn fat, so I'm going to go 50, 60, 70 reps because, you know, burning fat and shit. But literally, lift heavy. The things that got the muscle there in the first place are going to keep the muscle there. So I've gone on a little bit on this one, but it's something which I want to make sure we get the basics covered. I don't want to just go ahead into some advanced stuff when it's clear we need to make sure a lot of the basics are covered because people are going to get the best results from the most basic stuff around. Enjoy.